Apple a day. Look, seal or pre-seal? Quite sure if I get this video right. So anyway, look, without any procrastinating, this is, like I've talked about this before, this is Indian sandstone, and this is the honed stone. You can see it's all nice, looking good. And the question is for today is whether we seal it after, okay, to maintain that nice beautiful look, which is so important, and maintains the slab as well, or whether we can pre-seal. So pre-sealing is that once it's gone through that manufacturing process, and I know there's a lot of companies in the country that actually still, there's a couple that actually do it. So what they do is once the stone has been calibrated, cut to size, and chamfered off the edges, whatever they do, and go through that process, is that what they do, they'll seal it. And the reason, why do we seal? Why do we seal paving? And we never used to years ago, but the fact is that it's an optional extra. So when your paving arrives, it looks like this. It looks lovely and clean. And you know as well as I know that as much as you like, you can see there where it's just been in the box, as much as you like to keep things clean, you have that bucket of water and that sponge, and you sponge down as you go, and you don't want to be walking on your paving, certainly when you've laid it, not even the next day. You don't want the clients walking on it, and you know that they walk on it, and you're trying to keep things clean. You've got the disc cutter going, and though you should, you know, obviously have a water suppressant on your disc cutter, the dust gets everywhere, the sand gets everywhere, cement gets on it, and you know, some people are clean, some people aren't so clean, some people try their best, but the slabs inevitably get dirty. But the thing about sandstone, and as we said before, it has a huge porosity value, meaning that it's going to soak up everything. It's going to soak it from the back, from the side, okay, and from the top. So what we've got to think about is how easy would it be to actually seal on site? Well, I've been speaking to a gentleman from up north, Daniel Cox, and Dan knows his stuff without a shadow of a doubt. And I think for me, and I was talking to Dan about, is that, you know, it's great sealing paving after, but what I never ever thought about was that this guy really knows what he's on about. He does a lot of interior stuff as well, you know, kitchen floors where you have the wine and the food that drops down. It can stain your slabs, and it's not good at all. And so what Dan was talking to me about is that what you can do once you've got your workstation on site, in a short period of time, you could seal a vast amount of paving while you're there, literally in minutes. And but then the question is, what type of sealer do you actually put on your sandstone? We're going to cover that later at some point, and I'm going to get back with that information, because clarity and being concise with this information is so important, especially when you're looking at these sorts of products. Okay, I definitely believe in sealing sandstone, but I never really understood about when's the best time to do it, what sealers you should be using, whether it should be a solvent or whether it should be a water-based sealant. And there are other sealants as well, and you see all those companies on YouTube, on the internet, they've all got those videos and they're telling you how to seal and how good their sealers are, but you know, what can you trust? But the fact is, by promoting dialogue now and talking about this, we know that we have to do something about it, because make no bones about it, this sandstone, right, from that rain, when it comes down, it's going to have the sediment in there, you're going to have dust on there, it's just going to get dusty generally because it's outdoors. And what you're going to find is that the slab, the sandstone, is going to suck everything down inside, and then that's going to get really, really dirty. And you see when you pressure wash the patios off, but how good that is, I don't really know. I think that if you do use a sealer, what you want is the sealer to impregnate down into the stone and to get down nice and deep. The more sealers you actually put on, the better it is. But you need to use a breathable sealer, okay? Because if you don't use a breathable sealer, what's going to happen is eventually your stone is going to start decaying because it can't breathe. Sandstone's designed to breathe. That's why it's porous. And the other thing what Dan was telling me is that it's not just sealing the top, but to seal the sides, okay? To seal the sides. and that's going to help with lots of things through staining. Having, when you finish the pointing, you see where usually when you finish the patio, you see with a lot of work with people, you see staining along the edge. It may be the case that in answer to the questions and the dialogue I'm promoting now, that you're absolutely fine. You don't believe in sealing, you don't believe in this type of method, but I think it's all about belts and braces, and it's so important that whatever we do well. And Dan was talking about sealing the sides, as I said, and on the top, and he was telling me that how easy it is to actually seal on site, like I said. So I want to really delve into this topic, because I think it really is important. When a customer's paid all that money for a patio, then 12 months down the line that patio isn't looking good, and you haven't recommended even to seal it after, you know, I think that's not good at all. Because, you know, if your patio is not looking good, what you want when that customer invites their friends around to show that patio off, and they look at your patio, and they think, oh, this looks fantastic, even 12 months after you've laid it, 2 years after you've laid it, you know. How often these things need to be sealed, I'm not quite sure. All I know is that with the kitchens, when they seal a kitchen, the more coats they put on, the more it will impregnate down into the sandstone. Yes, it changes the look of the paving. Yes, there have been customers that said to me they like the dry look, they like how it looked, but you need to sort of really start to understand is that it's great having that dry look, you know, that's absolutely fine, but if you don't seal it, that dry look is going to go and it's just going to get dirty. So I think I've spoken enough on that now. If you've got any opinions on that, make sure that, you know, that they're clean and they're nice, you know, just let me know. Just, you know, make a comment, talk about it. Let's start promoting dialogue with other landscapers out there, other contractors. What's your experiences with this? And I want to know from you guys and what you actually think of it. Even as a consumer, if you're watching this as a consumer, I think the question is, right, I suppose, is that if your contractor advised you to seal, what would you take from that? Are they giving you the right information? I'll tell you what it's telling you. It's telling you they're actually thinking about what they're doing. It may be the case that some of you actually think that they're just finding another way to extract money out of the customers, but it's not. You know, product knowledge, maintenance is key, it's so important, and at least that if you've spoke about it, you're allowing them the veto to make those decisions about whether they want to seal or not to seal. That's the thing. It's about choices. That's it. I've got to get on. I've got a busy day ahead of me. I hope you're all staying safe. Remember, subscribe to the channel and give it a like, and have a great day, and have a safe day.